All right. I do have a question of the week. I was thinking about this. There have been a couple things that have popped up this week. This is obviously related to our main topic, but we'll get
Mm.
to that. Um, but the question is, and I'm kind of curious what you guys think. Should actors or actresses sign over the rights to their likeness and or voice? And if they do that, what should they be compensated when it's used going forward? Like, should they get some kind of residual when their image and or voice is used in a project going forward?
Oh,
Kind of
there is
curious.
no doubt about that. Like the whole idea of signing away like the rights to your likeness and voice um post leaving the mortal coil is kind of controversial because you never know. Like, I mean, even in my family, I don't know that I'd trust anybody in my family, with the exception of my sister, who's a saint, and nobody can convince me otherwise. That with managing it the way I think I would have wanted it to. I just and with the advent of AI and all these video generators now, not just image
Yeah,
generators,
yeah,
but
yeah.
video generators. I would not trust that in 10, 15 years, it will be a hellscape for people who sign away their stuff or sign away their vision, their voice and everything.
Yeah.
And that's not to mention, when does the trademark end? Because they just,
Yeah.
like, Steamboat Willie just came out a trademark. Mickey Mouse and the whole Mickey Mouse crew are next. So are Warner Brothers, Bugs Bunny, and all them's. So, like, James Earl Jones, his stuff goes out of trademark copyright. Okay, so anybody can use him after that. Anybody can use Darth Vader in a Mickey D's commercial or something, or for
It's a
some construction company. I mean, like, it's I don't know. I don't like where this is going. I don't think they should. I really don't think they should, because it's just there's too much bad stuff coming our way.
What do you think, Don?
Well, I think, seeing as I voice a character, um, I I thought about it a little bit. So let's say that Aesop becomes this huge character that I voice, and it garners a generation of fans,
Hmm.
and I know I'm going to pass on, you know, and I also know, okay, maybe I can make a little money by selling the rights to my voice that can benefit my family, maybe even a charity or something like that. So I absolutely think it's something that should be done, as long as it's fair to the owner of that voice. Now, obviously, when they pass on, they would need to have something set up, whether it go to a trust, a charity, or their family member. And you're right, 180, 80, 100 years down the road, that could all get lost in the mud. And all of a sudden, we're hearing, a 100-year-old voice with a character. Obviously, my vote's going to be for them compensating the family or the estate for that. Um, but in general, I want Darth Vader to always sound like James Earl Jones.
Hmm.
I want Optimus Prime always to sound like Peter Cullen. In
Mm.
fact, the new movie that I actually hear got pretty good reviews, where Optimus Prime or Orin Pax is not voiced by Peter Cullen. I'm actually like, okay. Like, I don't know. I'm to me, Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen, he's still alive even.
Yeah.
Um, so I do want characters to maintain those personas, those iconic voices, as long as they can.
Kevin Conroy.
Sure, exactly. But at the same time, I don't want Disney to be able to use James Earl Jones' voice for the next 200 years, and he has family members out there, that could benefit from it, and they're not.
And what family members benefit? Like, if you go like one or two generations, there could be like 40 different people, and now you've got to fight in the courts over who gets the money.
Yeah, I mean that will definitely be a thing. But again, selfish me, I always want Darth Vader to sound like James Earl Jones. Optimus
Yeah,
Prime to always sound like Peter Cullen. That's just me.
it's a difficult question. Like, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it for a few different reasons. Because you can also look at it from the other side of the coin. Like, George Lucas created all these characters, and eventually he will pass on, right? I mean, but he sold Lucasfilm to Disney, but I'm sure he still gets something as, the creator of the universe, right? Like, um, I mean, he still gets credit on all the films and everything. So, um, yeah, I'm not sure. And like, I kind of feel like, and I agree with John in a lot of ways, and I kind of feel like one of the things that would stop people from just stealing it is if by law you had to give even a small residual check every time you use the voice going forward, to the
Yeah.
family. That would a make them hesitant to keep doing it, so it wasn't used like 1,000 times, because wouldn't be like, oh, we paid for this, let's keep using it every chance we get. And two, I think it would like people who just use the tools that are available online, which that's the thing that scares me the most, is that these tools are available online for anyone to use. It's not like it's locked and only professionals can use it. It's locked in a cage somewhere. And um but it would give you grounds to sue people that just use the voice on videos online, and then um Disney could go after those people if they own the rights to the voice.
They could, and just imagine if you will, if it was set up to where, like, sure, go ahead, use, so and so's voice, but the minute somebody proves that they're of their lineage, next of kin, you got to pay out.
Yeah.
Like, you open yourself up to just to be liable in general. Again, if nobody's other than Disney or whoever is profiting from this,
And
that could cause some trouble.
but see, you got to take into account. Okay, somebody proves their you know a great grandchild or grandchild or something. Warner Brothers, the first thing they're going to do is bring it to the courts and then keep it in the courts for as long as they can, bankrupting whoever is bringing lawsuit against them because they have the money to do that. Like there's no way to skew this unless they passed actual laws like the European Union does. There's no way to make this fair for the people who should have the right to say what happens or what doesn't, because
Right.
the corporations run America, and the mouse would just run over anybody. And
Well, with all that,
Mhm.
but with all that said, imagine you are voice actor or actor A, you were typecast in that role. So you're basically poor because you've never gotten any other work beyond this original monumentous character that you made, and you have a chance to become a millionaire again by signing off your voice. Like, who's going to tell that person no? But you're right. After the fact, it's going to go through this process, where it's out there and anyone can use it, particularly the people that originally had the right. So
we would
you know,
need very, very stringent rules and regulations around that, but that would go under the heading of privacy laws, which is something that the U.S. is historically incredibly bad, regressive, and still stuck in the 1700s about. So, like, until that happens, I wouldn't trust it at all, and I'd say no. Once the person's dead, they shouldn't be given. You shouldn't give the rights to your likeness or voice at all. And Thrawn Killer has a point here, because imagine you're diametrically opposed to a political
yeah,
party, and they start using your stuff, like James Earl Jones voice, um, you know, uh, using his voice to promote a neo-Nazi or something, right? It's like I mean, that could happen. So,
Well, that's the other thing too, and like obviously I don't want to get into all of that because
I know, but it's
because
What are you doing? We don't do that here.
it's a good it's an
to-
example of what can happen.
but it also comes down to the problem with a lot of things because it's licensing companies that own the rights to these things after a certain point, and as long as you go to the I was going to say AMA, the board that controls this stuff, the licensing for music, and you pay whatever fee it is to use a song, like as long as you pay the fee, you can use it, and that's so. But there isn't right now. There isn't anything that controls that kind of stuff for this, a voice or an image or whatever. There's no controlling body for that. So yeah, it's something that gets going to get messy a lot faster than that before it gets before anything makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like this is going to be a mess for a long time, and it's the technology is moving so fast with this that it will be by next year. You're going to see fully animated or not animated. You're going to see a commercial with somebody talking, and it's going to look real, and it's going to be all AI generated. So. My favorite. Hold on, real quick. My favorite are the ones you see them now, and it's like the Joe Rogan podcast, and he's talking to someone, and they're talking about some product, and it sounds real, but then you realize like it's an actual footage from the podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, but his mouth is either not moving or it's not moving in sync with what's being said. So they used one of those tools to generate his voice selling whatever this product is and threw it on the video, and it's just like. It's insane. Like,
well, they had an entire conversation between Joe Rogan and Steve Jobs, who's been dead.
Right.
Dead,
and like and all that. Yeah, exactly. But and that was the thing, and that went viral. So like all these little commercials that are trying to sell some kind of penis enlarger or whatever whatever junky thing they sell on the internet. Yeah. I wouldn't know anything about that.
James Earl Jones selling slap chops. Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah,
move over, Mr. Popeil.
That's the scary thing is that I think the first step is going to have to be
regulations.
The regulations, like some kind of board that oversees the rights. Because I'm telling you right now, Anthony Daniels is going to be the next one. He's going to sell his voice for C-3PO because he's not going to be around forever. And he's the only one that's ever voiced C-3PO in anything. It's always been him. In any of the cartoons, commercials, holiday specials, he was the voice, period.
They said that about Jim Henson. A lot of the Muppets were voiced by him, and they've done a pretty good job of finding people who could sound the same.
Thrawn, we're selling the Swedish penis pump enlarger. It's a $24.95. Link in the description below. Anyway,
you've never heard of a slap chop?
Thrawn? No, what is that?
It's like,
what about a shake weight? Ever see those?
Oh, the shake weights. I remember the shake weights.
The slap chop is
where you slap it.
You slap it and it cuts up the onion or the garlic or whatever.
Yeah.
Look how easy it is. I just put it on put the garlic in, and I slap it down on the table, and there it is. You have cut garlic.
I like the James Earl Jones shake weight commercial better. I can see that coming.
Get your shake weight. Yeah, the slap chop was mentioned in Deadpool.
We definitely are not going to resolve this anytime soon. I do think that we need regulation, and we need to be like a defined penalty for this kind of stuff. So we'll see. Thanks for watching this clip from the Superhero Speak podcast. And don't forget to watch us live every Sunday night right here on this channel.
While you're here, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so you won't miss out on any of our great upcoming content.
Speaking of content, don't forget to check out our website, superheroespeak.com, where you can find the podcast, links to our social media, merch, comic reviews, and so much more. That's superheroespeak.com.
Thanks for watching, and don't let your cape be caught in the door. See you next time.